Hey YouTube, this is Gary with another video response to Top 3 Tuesday, and this week's question, asked by MichaelBtheGameGenie, is what are your top 3 games based on comic book characters? I'm going to do an honorable mention first. This is my favorite video game based on a comic book character, but I'm going to keep my list retro. So my favorite video game based on a comic book character is Batman Arkham Asylum. But I'm going to go ahead and start my list now with my first choice. My first pick is Popeye, the arcade game by Nintendo. It was also released for numerous game systems in the 80s. I had it for the ColecoVision back in the day, and it was a pretty good port. The character Popeye first appeared in a comic strip in the late 1920s and was made into several cartoons, comic books, and even a movie starring Robin Williams. Several other characters appear in this game like Bluto, Olive Oil, Sweet Pea, Wimpy, and the Sea Hag. This is a simple and fun arcade game that has 3 levels. In the first level, Olive Oil is throwing hearts down at you, so you have to catch them all to move on to the next level. If you drop the bucket down on Bluto, you get bonus points for it, and if you punch the spinach, Popeye can punch him off the screen. The Sea Hag also shows up during the game to throw bottles at you, and Bluto can also throw bottles at you. In the second level, Olive throws musical notes down for you to catch. There's a seesaw on this level that you can fall on to jump up to catch Sweet Pea. On the third level, you have to catch letters that spell out help to make a ladder to go up to the top to reach Olive Oil while avoiding Bluto and a vulture that flies down to attack you. The gameplay is pretty simple, but the game can be pretty difficult. It's a great game, and I recommend you try it if you haven't before. My second pick is Batman Returns for the Sega CD. This version is different from the cartridge as it not only contains the full platforming version of the game, but a really cool driving game as well. The reason I picked this game is for the driving part, so I'll just be focusing on that portion of the game, since the platforming part is very mediocre. In the options, it even lets you select if you want both or just the driving or platforming, so I think that's a pretty cool option. The soundtrack for this game is original and exclusive to this version, and it's awesome and one of my favorite video game soundtracks ever. This portion of the game utilizes the extra horsepower the Sega CD gives the Genesis, as you can see lots of scaling like Mode 7 that's on the Super Nintendo. You have to shoot the enemies with your machine guns or with missiles as you go along, all while trying to avoid damage. You can also run them off the road, but the Batmobile takes damage as you do this. The object is to clear the enemies in each level before the time runs out, and then after so many levels you face the boss, like the fire truck in the first area. This game is very tough, and I've never finished it, but I've made it to the sewers where you use the Batboat. It's a lot of fun, and the soundtrack alone makes this game worth having in your collection. My third pick is X-Men, the arcade game by Konami. This is a great beat-em-up similar to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade games. You can choose up to 4 simultaneous players. The character choices are Cyclops, Colossus, Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler, or Dazzler. My favorite to play is Nightcrawler, as his special attack can easily clear a full screen of enemies, but you have to use the special attack sparingly since it drains your health. There are short cutscenes at the end of the levels that help move the story along. Basically, you're trying to stop Magneto from wreaking havoc on the human race and rescuing Professor X and Kitty Pryde. You fight lots of Sentinels, mutant crocodiles, and various supervillains from the X-Men comics, like Juggernaut, Pyro, and Mystique. X-Men is an awesome game and ranks up there as one of my favorite beat-em-ups. Alright, those are my top 3 choices for games with comic book characters. And if you'd like to make a video response, go to Mike's channel. I'll put the link down below where you can go to the original video and make your own video response. So this has been Gary. Thanks for watching.